Meanwhile, some within the ANC are also expecting a cabinet reshuffle after Paul Mashatile was sworn in as an MP this week. The party is also preparing to defend its president from planned disruptions by the EFF during his address later on tonight. Those are live visuals of how the precinct is looking on the early hours of this morning. It's also where we find part of our team, including Govan Whittles, who joins us now live. And Govan, these warnings around a disruption have been well announced, well recorded. We can see Pemmy Majodina there. I wonder what the ANC caucus is doing to respond to this.
Yes, Pemmy Majodina, the chief whip of the ANC, is here to talk to us, and we'll get some of their views in a moment. Coming to you live from the City Hall precinct, not quite Parliament. National Assembly still burnt out. We passed there a little earlier. They're trying to repair it. It'll cost them at least 2 billion rand. Later on in the morning, we'll speak to the National Assembly Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula. But for now, we'll focus on some of the more pressing issues of the day. We'll begin with some controversy that's around the disruptions planned by the EFF. They've said it clearly. They're going to try to not allow the president to deliver the State of the Nation address. They've disrupted it before. Some of those disruptions in the past have lasted an hour, some even longer. This time, what's interesting is that the ANC caucus has a plan, but the police also have a plan, but their plan is for the protests that are planned around this area. People are going to show up here at the City Hall precinct to raise their discontent, to put it lightly, about the lack of energy, the rolling blackouts that have plagued South Africa. Let's get into the conversation with Pemmy Majodina. She is the chief whip of the ANC, joining us now to discuss some of the issues that we expect to dominate today's speech. Let's begin with the controversy. The EFF says they'll disrupt the president's speech. What will the ANC caucus do?
Thank you very much, Govan, and viewers at home. We had that pronouncement, but this house in the chamber is governed through the rules. There are rules of the house to keep the decorum of the house, and those rules will kick in for anyone that is going to disrupt the house. They know, as honorable members, that there are do's and don'ts. There are ways of raising your dissatisfaction, but you don't come and disrupt the sitting. This sitting is convened in line with the rules, and therefore they will have to face consequences should they disrupt, because there are rules. You can do this, you cannot do that as a member of parliament. So we are saying the president is going to deliver his State of the Nation address. The nation is waiting for president to talk to it, not for disruptors to disrupt the SONA.
In the past, we've seen the EFF raising concerns or raising points of order, saying they don't believe the president should address the State of the Nation address. There would be a shouting match, essentially, between EFF MPs, ANC MPs, people wanting the speech to get underway, and then the EFF would get kicked out of the chamber. Do you think that's right, that they get kicked out?
If you don't behave orderly, the rules are very clear that you must be called into order for a particular period, and if you don't adhere to that, you must be taken out of the house. They know that they are members of the Rules Committee, they are members of Parliament who are guided by the rules. Parliament is not just a gathering, but it has something that is guiding it. And we are going to ensure that the speakers retrieve what is correct to save the nation and allow the nation to be addressed by the president.
Were they warned in the meetings leading up to the State of the Nation address that they will get kicked out if they try to disrupt?
Yesterday, we had a Chief Whips Forum. We just said all the rules of the House are going to be implemented when need arises. So they did not, in a formal meeting, told us that they are going to disrupt. So this disruption, we hear it from the media, we hear it out there, but I think they are going to be honorable enough and take whatever issue they have to the debate of the State of the Nation address on Tuesday and Wednesday. That is where they must show their dissatisfaction and raise whatever. But to disrupt the State of the Nation address is not a good thing, and they must just refrain from that.
We're almost out of time. Let's move on to another issue. There's a new member of parliament in the ANC caucus, Paul Mashatile, expected to be sworn in as the deputy president after being sworn in as an MP. What do you think of Paul Mashatile joining your ranks there? And can you confirm that we'll see the outgoing Deputy President David Mabuza today?
Comrade Deputy President David Mabuza will be in the House today because he is still Deputy President of the country. Comrade Paul Mashatile is a new Member of Parliament in the ANC, so he has not yet been allocated any cabinet responsibility. There is no cabinet reshuffle at the moment, so we'll await for the President to make up his mind. He has not yet communicated with us when is he going to do that. We treat Comrade Mashatile as a new MP like any other MP. Should be any other thing, then the media we will know. But today, the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, David Mabuza, will be here in the House.
Ms. Majodina, I can't let you leave without asking, how do you expect the President to approach the burning issue of the lack of electricity in the country?
We have a clear resolution as the ANC and its Lekgotla and the NEC that intervention must be urgent, and we must declare this crisis on emergency and disaster basis, so that we can be able to allocate funds, we can be able to monitor and ensure that we attend it immediately, because it is killing the nation, livelihoods, the economy, so we cannot go on like this. So the President is going to come up clearly on the steps that we are going to take based on the 4 pillars that Minister Mandashe talked about. So we've adopted that as the ANC, that intervention must be like yesterday.
Thank you so much. Pemmy Majodina, she's the Chief Whip of the ANC, speaking to us outside the parliamentary precinct, raising expectation again of an announcement of the state of disaster. The question is whether they found the legal basis to do so. That was the big question at the Cabinet, Lekgotla. It's one that the President, the Cabinet, has been receiving legal advice on. Not clear whether he'll make that announcement at this State of the Nation address. Also some expectation of direct relief for people who have been affected by load shedding, particularly businesses, is being raised here. But for now, we'll keep a close eye on the comings and goings here outside the parliamentary precinct. Hope to bring you some content from the people on the street, get the view of their expectations ahead of the State of the Nation address, whether they'll be watching, what they believe should be prioritized. But for now, it's back to you.
Govan, Whittles, thanks very much indeed. All very important sentiments to be captured as we continue with our build-up. Govan is live to us there from just outside the Cape Town City Hall, in fact, at the precinct in Cape Town.